In the city of Aerilon, every home, vehicle, and microcomputer was connected to a vast network that managed everything, from browser searches to wireless communication. But one evening, the system began to stumble. Screens flickered. Laptops, loudspeakers, and even old cassette tape players behaved strangely. Engineers could not pinpoint the cause. Some believed it was an error. Others insisted it was a flaw in the city's software. But a few whispered that a deeper fantasy, or even a science fiction-like phenomenon, was unfolding. At the heart of the malfunction was a mysterious binary pulse, a signal that no one could decode. Lyra, a junior technician, sat beside her cluttered desk, her keyboard glowing faintly as her microphone picked up static from an unknown source. Unlike others, she didn't panic. She listened. The strange audio wasn't just noise. It had rhythm, structure, almost intent. The voice said, "Phase shift, imminent. Framework unstable. Prepare to adapt." Lyra felt a chill. She replayed the recording, trying to be accurate, precise, and correct in her interpretation. But the message made little sense. Still, her instinct told her something was coming. Lyra's investigation led her into the underground systems, a maze of drainage, sewage, and ventilation tunnels rarely visited by anyone. There, old machines hummed. Ancient pumps, rusted generators, and massive gears turning slowly, operated by hydraulic arms that groaned under their own weight. She discovered something unbelievable. A forgotten prototype city beneath Aerilon. Its machines were designed to facilitate energy flow, filter, purify, and refine resources, even condense, compress, and distill moisture from the air. It was an entire hidden framework, a backup for civilization itself. But now, it was waking up. As Lyra walked deeper, she found a chamber glowing with high-definition holograms. A digital projection flickered to life, showing different modes, aspects, and phases of the city. The hologram spoke. "The upper city has shifted out of balance. A contingency protocol must activate." She realized the binary pulse was part of this system, a signal meant to transform, convert, alter, and shift energy pathways before catastrophe struck. But the system was only half awake and malfunctioning. Something, or someone, had disturbed it. Suddenly, the floor shook. A deep rumbling echoed through the lower tunnels. The contingency engine, an enormous circular mold for shaping energy, was failing. Its purpose was to simplify complex flows and adjust the city's power distribution. But now it trembled, lights flickering like a heartbeat losing rhythm. Lyra climbed onto the main platform and saw it, a single cracked pivot. Just a fault, a tiny break holding back a disaster. One flaw could collapse two cities at once. Lyra worked fast. She used old tools from the storage lockers, a welding kit, a diagnostic scanner, even an ancient analog tape recorder that still worked surprisingly well. She documented every circumstance, every reading, every change in energy flow. As pressure built, the city above flickered with digital storms, screens turning blue, audio signals looping, wireless towers screaming binary static. She had minutes, maybe less. The binary voice spoke again. "Shift imminent, turn the pivot, adapt the phase." But turning it required strength she didn't have. A sudden metallic clang echoed through the tunnels. A machine, a humanoid automaton, stepped from the shadows. Its surface looked like a sculpted mold of polished steel. "I am Prototype Unit 7, it said. "Created to assist, reactivated by your presence." Lyra stared. Can you help me operate the pivot?" The machine nodded. "I can adjust, transform, or convert mechanisms within my design. Direct me." Together they worked, synchronizing each movement with accurate precision. Sparks flew, hydraulic arms whirred. The pivot began to turn. But then, an explosion erupted behind them. The generator had overloaded. Heat surged. Steam filled the chamber. The entire lower city trembled. Lyra shouted over the noise. "Prototype 7, can we stabilize it?" He answered calmly. "Stabilization possible, but requires a final shift, a full system convert. Energy must be transferred. Through me." She froze. "That will destroy you." The machine paused, then said softly, "My purpose is contingency. A fault is simply a path waiting to be corrected." Before she could protest, he stepped into the core. His body glowed, then dissolved into pure light. The system roared to life. The pivot locked into place, the framework stabilized, and the city, both above and below, held its breath. When Lyra emerged onto the surface, the city lights were steady again. Screens were stable, wireless signals clear, no errors, no faults, no more stumbling network. Engineers celebrated, thinking the crisis had ended by itself. But Lyra knew the truth. She opened her browser, searched through the logs, and found one last audio file left behind. "Thank you, Lyra. Adaptation complete." And then silence. She stepped outside, looking at her city with a new understanding. Every system, digital or human, had its phases, its faults, its circumstances, and its chances to adjust. Balance, she realized, was never permanent. It was something you rebuilt again and again. Weeks later, Lyra returned to the underground. There she built a new unit. Not a mold, not a prototype, but a companion. 7-2. A tribute to the one who saved them. She documented everything, wanting the knowledge to remain accurate, precise, and alive for future engineers. Energy flowed smoothly. The contingency engines hummed like calm breathing. Aerilon was safe. For now. But Lyra knew her story was only beginning, because every network, every framework, every world eventually faces another shift. And when that day came, she would be ready.